So hello guys, welcome again. Now let us see the subarrays concept. See, subarray is a contiguous part of an array. It should be continuous. Here it is an example of subarray 1 minus 4 7 minus 4 sorry minus 1 4 7 2. So here the contiguous part we are taking minus 1 4 7. So this will be our subarray. Okay, is minus 1 4 and 2 is the subarray? No, it's not because it is not contiguous. It's breaking. 7 is coming in between. Okay, so by having this much of combination, we will have our subarrays like this. As it is, you can see from the first index minus 1, we can have starting subarrays starting from minus 1 r minus 1 minus 1 4 minus 1 4 7 minus 1 4 7 2. Then we will move to the next index, that is 4. Then we will count from there 4 4 7 4 7 2. Then count from 7 7 7 2, and last one is 2. Okay, so these are our possible subarrays. We will starting our starting point will be there and our ending point, and in between them our including the starting and ending point, our sub array will be present. Okay, so our starting point and ending point, here we have minus 1 and 4. There is sub array minus 1 and 4. So let's code for this. So I have taken the input from the user already. Now I will tell you, we are using nested for loop here. And in this nested for loop, how many for loops we are going to use? Let's see. First for loop is for the iteration over the array. Okay, less than n I plus plus. Okay, then our next for loop will be from the for the sub array indices from starting to end. So it will start from j equals to I to j less than n j plus plus. Okay, then we will also have a third for loop, and it will be for displaying the subarrays. Okay, in this subarray we will start from k equals to we start from tell me we start from k equals to I, right? And it will be up to k less than equals to j, of course, and k plus plus. And here we are going to see out our array element at kth position. Okay, so this is our code here. So we will give here space also, some space. Okay, right. And to separate out, we will also have a endl statement. Yes, we shouldn't give endl here, hence it is not giving us a proper subarray in one line only. Okay, now let's save again. Okay, what was our array? Yeah, this one. So now you can see we have list of possible subarrays here from 1 1 2 1 2 3 1 2 3 4 5. Then starting from 2 2 3 2 2 4 and up to 5. So here it is the code for possible subarrays. So now guys, let's see maximum subarray sum. Here we will find out the subarray in an array which has maximum sum. So we have seen the code for listing out this number of subarrays, possible subarrays. Now we have to find out the sum of the subarray which is maximum in a given array. So here you can see 13 is maximum, and which is of 472 subarray. So let us find this in the same code by changing some variables. So we had in previous code the list of subarrays. So here we're going to display our maximum sum. So first we will have the sum of all the subarrays. Okay, so here I will write sum equals to sum plus array at k. So here I will have a mx variable which will store the maximum of this sum. Okay, so just like this. And now, but we haven't declared it, so I will declare over here. We'll declare our mx with int minimum. Okay, and whenever we write int min or int max, we are always write c limits header file here. Okay, and yes, we should declare sum here, because whenever it will iterate over the subarrays, our sum should be initialized as 0 before our subarray begins. Okay, so that's our code. We should also see out our mx. Okay, so now let's see. Okay, now I will give array of size 5. Let's give -14720. So here you can see the maximum subarray sum is should be 13. 4 plus 7 plus 2. Okay, so yes, our answer is 13. Okay, so this was our code for finding out the maximum subarray sum. Now I will show you the next code in the next video.